Hello everybody, I'm the Hammer Game Channel. Welcome back to the New Order, the Last Days of Europe, and to my Italian Empire playthrough with Pietro Nini. Right now we're empowering the unions, just trying to kind of finish off this part of the tree here, then we'll get down to the kind of economy route. I don't know if I don't think we've got much left really. I'm probably not going to really touch any of this side either, I don't know. National debt rises, crackdown. It's just kind of saying that there is some events by the looks of things. Oh, end the navy primacy. Better together. Military assistance, integrated military. Women in the army, racial integration. Okay, there is some stuff in there that we probably do want to check out. Right, so let's go ahead and do Terra Libertà. Land brings freedom, and we can't allow some to be freer than others. Too many people own too much land, and that's something that needs to change. The latifundia owners are a powerful entrenched group of privileged people, counting among their ranks many nobles and rich businessmen. These people stubbornly refuse to innovate their methods and pursue the betterment of the workers, instead relying on obsolete techniques and oppressing contracts to squeeze as much money as possible from their tenants. Okay, yeah, we need to deal with them. Gains national spirit, environmental protection, 2 consumer goods, 10 factory output. Ah, yes. Ah, we're going to win this one as well. So we're going to get Romania. Nice. Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, Romania, and France. Ever since Italy and Express. So we're going to have another 2 rounds with Germany. That's fantastic. Another 2. So if we can get France in that way. Nice, that's good. I was hoping we were going to be able to get them. Let's actually finish off this bit. The Stato de Lavoratory Liberal Statutes shall enshrine the workers' rights against the business owners and serve as the main text of law for all things related to the workplace. Combining many of the smaller reforms we have passed so far, hiring and firing workers shall be regulated, as well as the presence of worker unions within the factories and the collective contracts stipulated between worker unions and the Confindustria will be given public validity by the law, so that no work contract may ever breach their terms. Okay. Gosh, we're up to 105 cities. Gosh, I should probably spend... Oh, we are spending time on the military factories, I forgot about that. Death of the prince in Mongolia. You're actually still... Oh no, I forgot. Oh no, they're still around. Oh yeah, they won. I completely forgot. Oh, excuse me. Job security. Can you believe it, Enrico? The boss overheard me saying I voted for the Fronte Democratico and sacked me there. Huh, join the club, Luigi. The boss will be firing anyone with any vaguely life. Excuse me, left to sympathies at this rate. We won't have any workers left. That's all well and good. Enrico, but what about us? We have to put the food on the table for our families. We'll survive somehow. Oh my gosh. Oh, I sneezed, I didn't come. Theater's there, blast it all. Who the hell is calling at this hour? Luigi grumbled as he got out of bed to answer the incessant phone. It's Luigi. Who's calling? Luigi, it's Enrico. Did you hear it? Turns out the boss violated new labour law when he fired us. Excuse me. For our political view, he got fined several million lire. And the best part, he was forced to give our jobs back. No more unemployment for us, baby. Luigi's eyes widened before he broke out in a grin, so master that Enrico could surely sense it even over the phone. Honey, he called out to his wife. Great news. Another vote for the FD. Reign of the Confindustria. Confindustria is a trade union in its own right, only made up of businessmen rather than workers. With this in mind, for the betterment of the workers' conditions, we shall extend an olive branch and foster good relationships and spirit of mutual cooperation. Okay. I do have to remember that this is not actually the end of our tree, because we will have the oil crisis. Which I probably will just play through once, I think. With the Italies, and I think I'll do it with Nini. Yeah, but is there any point me actually doing this? Guess it doesn't do any harm. Might as well try and smack them 5-0 again. How is the Union doing? Unstable, fantastic. No too big to jail. Not too big to jail. Extra, crooked executives locked up. Read all about it as Piero took the newspaper from the paperboy. He could not help but look at the headline. Police jail corrupted executives after investigation. Piero blinked. This was a very rare occurrence. The big business tycoons would get their comeuppance. Considering the buddy-buddy relationship that they had with the state during the fascist era, the skeptical Piero had thought that it seemed extraordinarily unlikely they would ever face repercussions for their corruption and unethical, illegal business practices. After all, even in this new democratic Italy, they retained considerable wealth and influence. It appears he was wrong. Piero had long been an advocate of cleaning up Italy, especially since the end of fascism, but he was a cynical man who thought they would continue buying off the police. When the FD campaigned on cleaning up Italy, he was skeptical that they'd actually go anywhere. Perhaps there was hope for a cleaner, fairer Italy after all. Looks like FD are making good on their promises. Well, that is good to hear, isn't it? Bring front those born behind. Though our programme is mostly focused on the workers, the government hasn't forgotten the many categories of those too weak to fight for their own rights. Women, unemployed, immigrants and natives are often left out of the fiery speeches of the workers' paladins. We shall make justice for all of them. Good, that's good. Let's make the country fairer. Okay. Worsen the opinion, the silent majority opinion of Franco and business opinion of Franco. Franco is going to be getting dicked on by the sounds of things. Okay. FD.19T. Matteo lurched along the pavement, his joints aching from completing a full shift at the factory. As Matteo paused to collect his breath, he could see that they didn't ache as much as they used to. The factory shifts had gotten shorter and his pay had increased significantly, both to Matteo's pleasant surprise. As he turned a corner, he found himself back in his neighbourhood. Only things were not quite the same as he remembered. The streets were cleaner and the buildings had a gentler shine to them. It reminded Matteo of an old American movie his father showed him so long ago. The one with the Tin Man and the long windy road. Matteo noticed more of his neighbours, out and about as well. Never in his life could he recall anyone daring to walk the streets beyond going to work or taking a quick trip to the grocer's. And even then, it was best to be quick about it, to avoid any trouble. Such fear seemed so misplaced, the way people were carrying on. As Matteo made his way to his front door, he overheard so many light-hearted conversations. People chatting about how much better their pay is now compared to before, how a few months ago everyone was barely meeting their rent, let alone paying off bills like electricity or utilities. Now it seems that those troubles have passed. One could even believe, though they would be wrong, that those hardships might have never even existed for Matteo and his neighbours. Matteo was with a quicker step than before and standing tall, made his way into his apartment building. He was not very politically active and didn't even care much about democracy or whatever else the students were shouting about these days. Yet as he made his way to his room, he reflected on all the recent changes he spotted today, changes that came through democracy and through reforms made by the Democratic Front. Matteo acknowledged that perhaps it was time he took an interest in politics. Perhaps things were finally going to be different this time. Could this be the start of something wonderful? Indeed it is. Let's go ahead and do Avanti. Onwards, onwards, brave Italian men and women. Not even a decade ago we lived under the yoke of fascist dictatorship, where honest people feared for their lives for saying a word too much. Workers toiled for masters who considered them nothing more than numbers, and the poor and the downtrodden were crushed in the wheels of their so-called progress, a bloody foundation for empty monuments. The effects of the focus will change the amount of choices we have made so far. Daily power gain 0.1, max factory state plus 20, and production efficiency plus 10. Nice. Ah, yes, looks like we're going to beat the Germans again. The Germans are sucking. Well done, Borman. Like, what are you doing to expand your faction, really? Nothing. Nothing. I wish I could... Well, actually, we should probably try and see if we can get in the OFN. Then again, we do have the battle for Italy, but I don't have any political power to bloody do any of it. How's our progress in the... Test our work. And fire his ass. Okay, welcome aboard. Okay, sweeping nationalism efforts. The IRI has begun its program of public investments, but still can't exercise enough soft power to convince all business to align themselves with our reforms. More strong, the whatever Istituto per la Ricostruzione Industriale, I don't know, only has so much budget. Our Minister for the Economic and Financial Affairs has proposed to strengthen the IRI's economical prowess by nationalising several big businesses and industries belonging to our opposers and putting them under the control of the IRI. So we're going to change the 8-hour workday to a 6-hour workday. Okay, it's an interesting decision. I didn't think 8 hours was that bad. Gosh, I work 8 and 12-hour shifts. I can't seriously believe we're still only on 31% for the nukes. What happened? Right, the Consiglia de Fabrica. Rather than merely allowing worker unions to be formed, we should create factory councils, small parliaments where every worker can elect representatives proportionally the size of the business. Each council shall meet regularly and discuss matters within the workers, and will elect a general factory representative who will negotiate with the owner in all matters related to work, salaries, safety, strikes, etc. Thus giving them a unified voice and much more bargaining power. We don't wish to completely abolish private property and business owning, but we won't accept exploitation of the worker any longer. Everyone will get a voice and everyone will have freedom. So acceptable safety regulations will come into play. I'd still love the opportunity to invade Turkey. I know we're democratic, but I wish we could destroy them for their betrayal. They're Spanish too, but they've got the Iberian Wars coming eventually anyways, because... yeah, it's still unstable. It's still unstable. Franco, I hope you get destroyed, mate. Decry armed forces influence. While we respect the armed forces, we won't act against them. Many generals have released fiery declarations and statements to the press complaining about the risk of a socialist coup. Of course, this will not go unpunished. Our media will decry their intrusion in the democratic process, citing the risk of a new fascist coup by the army, while in private, our Minister for Defence shall meet with the King and voice his concerns. Okay. That's fine. Or talk to the King. It's a shame nothing else really happened with the Greeks as well. Like they just disappeared. I don't know why they've still got our bloody garrisons. From an empire into a community. With Italy changed from within, it's time to change what we have outside Italy proper. Our colonial empire and our sphere, influence at large, are a collection of oppressive governates, barely disguised military dictatorships, and dysfunctional corrupt governments only kept in place by our guns. It's time to change it for the better. Okay, it's interesting. Army's solemn response to Nini. We are not communist, Mr. Army. Saying out things which have been set on fire was part of the job, but the police of Milan had not dealt with something like this before. The cops were a group of soldiers on leave in the city, and the crime, some 200 socialist newspapers, bundled together and set alight outside a bar. Headline was still just barely legible on one of the scraps, something about Nini's address to the army. The bar hand, who had been working that evening, spoke calmly to the police. No, Signoro, he had not heard anything unusual. He was inside the entire time and there was a lot of noise. He had served some soldiers, but none of them looked drunk. In fact, David knew very well what had happened. Some of the soldiers were childhood friends of his. He knew the rest as good men. When they were in for a drink, they bemoaned to him a rumour they'd heard, and he was to publish a memorandum in the papers tomorrow, reminding the army of their oath to defend the government, as was their duty. It was David himself who told them where the leftist papers were sold, where the vendor kept the key, and how they should show Nini what they thought of his accusations. David felt like a general, giving orders to his troops, and standing back to watch the flames. When the rest of his friends went into the forces, he had stayed behind, helping his uncle serve wine to drunkards and prostitutes. Sometimes he regretted it, but not today. God forbid he ever had to serve under a communist, and moreover, one who called him a traitor for all Italy to hear. Okay. I don't know how we got stability from that, but okay. Okay. Right, well this part of the tree's going to be done in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but very soon. Right, back up here we go. Ah, the Germans won the last one. Oh. Oh, what a terrible shame. It's not like we've already won it or anything. Industrial wrangling's gone? Oh, you got any more national spirits? No, okay. I don't know why they all look the same. Don't give us all the same laws. Boo. The steady pace of change. It is finally done, with reforms in place and their implementation going at a steady pace. We are turning Italy into a true socialist state, one where there are no purges or gulags, and where, incredibly, we can coexist with all those who don't think like us. In the end, democracy is a double-edged sword. If you wield it with a steady hand, it will only harm those who threaten you and your loved ones. Fantastic. So once this is done, we'll go ahead and crack in the markets. Mania size with Italy. Oh no, what a shame. What will they ever do? Non-socialist trade unions allowed. Steady pace of change. Good. Cracking the markets. With our economic crisis not yet solved after the Alantropa disaster, we need to expand our economy and find new markets for our products. Since technology advancing and those who don't invest in innovation are left behind, we should start preparing plans to support industrial and technological sectors, ensure they can expand both their activities in Italy proper and their share of world market. The flow of wealth and the creation of new workplaces will be a boon not only for society at large but also for our state coffers. Good. Good. Got some good stuff here. Still losing political power though. I'm so tempted to just like give myself some political power so we can like, I don't know, appeal to the American markets. I would love to join up with the Americans. The Germans should invade us, but it would be, you know, a little safety net. What the hell is that? There's some weird looking ass tech, I have to say. We're just finish ceasefire, that's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. We can't even do some of these. Oh, it's like unbelievable, man. One on there, one on there, one on there. That's the plan. Right, use the IRI. The IRI is our strongest economic asset, a giant conglomerate of industries and investment funds under total state control, ready and willing to do our bidding. Our ministries for economic and financial affairs, for the foreign affairs, and for international trade are working hard, concocting a large-scale plan for the future, encompassing all sectors of the economy, from industry to innovation to trade and even financial speculation. Good, what's that doing for us? Funding for the Casa per el Mezzogiorno will go up, bringing us close to the further renovations. Great, but not close to researching nukes. Because the guys are useless. Give me a decent guy. protesting. Give us some good bloody news. Oh, it's so nice having all these guys with us. We literally just do need Serbia. The great French game. Yet another round begins. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ha ha ha. We will get the French as well. If we can get the French on our side, happy days. It's a shame they're not like any Democrats. You know, they're not democracies at all. Infantry anti-tank, fantastic. Let's get the infantry anti-air. I haven't even sorted out the templates. That's how pointless it has been for us to produce any equipment, because we're not really doing anything with the army at all. Oh, there we go. We've got fully... Oh, we don't, because it's too expensive. That's fine. Airports for the world. Air transport is the fastest way to transport goods and people around the world. Where the former are easier and cheaper to send by train, the latter will surely enjoy a national air company to safely carry them to their intended destination. See, I have to say, a lot of these just seem pointless. Like, this side seems a lot better. Road to social justice. Democracy in the dark. Defensive mindset. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I don't know what I'll choose there yet, anyways. Let's do promote small businesses. Small business is the backbone of any economy. Naturally, we shall be doing our part to ensure that our great small businesses of Italy shall receive the support they need and deserve. So low weight income changes with flat taxes. Flat taxes, you say? Low income weighted. Who the flat taxes, so GDP goes up, but we have more flipping political power loss. It's because that bloody broken we have this terrible modifier. This 0.2. I know it's not completely killing us, to be fair, but it still is not helping. I could see I could stop doing focuses, but it's just such a pain in the backside. Yeah, we're ever going to be able to take back the Levant as well? Like, that would be nice. Oh, bugger. Germany won the first round. Oops. So you get for not paying attention. Won the 5. Catholic trade unions. Trade unions are great and all, but you know what is even better? Catholic trade unions. We are empowering Catholic trade unions such as the CISL, a Catholic trade union linked to Christian democracy. In other words, our kind of people. Yeah, let me just go ahead and try and win this round. Okay, war kicking off, that's fine. Nothing to do with me, so happy days. Jonas Savimbi. Expand infrastructure, nice. Seriously, that was 1 to 5. Expose the blood mines of Burgundy. Yeah, Burgundy just seems like a lovely place to live in. Just great. Himmler seems like the perfect leader. And that's the land doctrine finished, isn't it? Yep, it is. The air doctrine's finished as well. Yeah, I guess I'll do the blue water navy. Might as well. And there's the union. No, it's still unstable. Right, cut the red tape. There's too much red tape in Italy's economy. All these burdensome regulations make it more expensive and troublesome to conduct business, stifling Italy's economic growth. So now we have minimal safety regulations. Oh gosh, I thought we just changed that. Acceptable safety regulations were minimal. Why would we do that? Why are we doing this? We're going in. Germany may have a 2-0 lead on this. No, we might lose out on the French. No! No, you can't beat us. Come on, we need a 3. Don't give us a 1. Whatever you do, don't give us a 1. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, yes, a draw. I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw. Yeah, get away with that, Germany. You're not finishing that in time, mate. Wait, what? We received a radio broadcast from in Siberia from a socialist regime known as the Far Eastern Soviet Socialist Republic. States led by former head of NKVD, Henryk Yagoda. While they boast the same policies and even government ministers as the old Soviet government, it also unsurprisingly appears that the NKVD plays a larger role in Far Eastern society, with the police state and surveillance being extensive. Yagoda claims that this is a temporary measure to preserve socialism in the state, and that he will lessen the NKVD grip on society when the institution stabilises. The question of whether to support an extensive police state with ties to the old Soviet government remains. Okay, we'll be accepted. Okay, that's cool at all. But are they actually going to do anything else? Ah, Yuri's back again. And Maria Porchenko as well. Let's do modernised agriculture. Italy is definitely industrialised, but much of its economy is still agrarian nonetheless. This is not necessarily a bad thing. After all, farmers are the backbone of any country, as they literally feed the nation. However, much of Italy's farm methods and agricultural equipment is outdated. This needs a change, and fast. How was our start to the next one? Oh, jeez, Germany's got the upper hand. Oh well. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that episode there, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall be back very soon for some more. Until then, take care, cheer bye, then out.